This is going to be a random Halloween blog for this weekend's video. Part of my Halloween special, I'll release a video each weekend, which I've already done. This will be just me rambling on about random shit, like The Suffering, other horror games, perhaps real life shit. First I'm going to start out about rambling about The Suffering, which is a deeper game than you actually think if you actually saw my review for it. I recently went back and watched a Let's Play done by a guy named Halloween. He basically spells the name Halloween, except he replaces the A with an E, and it has 45 at the end. And I watched him do the Let's Play of that in the game called Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners. And there's some shit I missed originally in Dead Rising, or not Dead Rising, damn it, I already played that game. The Suffering, like I was saying. This will be unedited like most of my videos. I didn't know how to actually do certain good things. Like you had to shoot these barrels down and then shoot them on the slave ship to help that hillbilly get off the island if you've ever actually played it. I didn't know you had to do that. And the game's a lot deeper than you think. Depending on your good, evil, or neutral actions, when you actually see your ghostly family members, they'll actually speak to you differently. Like, they'll actually hint that maybe you did it or it was somebody else. Due to the multiple endings and the multiple beginnings for The Suffering 2, if you basically did the evil ending, you woke up on the island and like a bunch of military guys were around you and they drugged you off. Yeah, the good ending of The Suffering is you just get on this boat with this one guy. The neutral ending is you get on the boat with him, but you knock him out with a fucking pistol. You just whack him in the back of the head. Speaking of things I've learned recently about games I played, apparently Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be called Code Veronica, and Code Veronica was supposed to be the sequel, which is kind of funny because I don't think Veronica was done by Capcom. But since I think Sony signed a deal with Capcom and had the main Resident Evil franchise on the PS2 and whatnot consoles, so they switched the names. They gave Resident Evil 3 name Code Veronica, and they gave Code Veronica the name Resident Evil 3. I always wondered about that when I was a kid, when I actually played Resident Evil 3, even though I liked it, especially the opening scene. Does it really feel like a sequel? Let's see, what else was I gonna blabber about? Oh, my favorite movie of all time is the Dawn of the Dead remake. Best movie ever. I think I'm gonna watch it on Halloween if I'm not doing anything else. I love it to beginning to end. Even though it's a remake, it's completely different from the original. Well, somewhat different. They basically changed it around, make it more realistic. It's the most realistic zombie movie than actual zombies, not infected. I like all the songs, like every scene. Best line ever. Fuck the fucker. Yeah, I know it's kind of stupid still. Let's see, what else can I blabber about? I guess I can blabber about Vlad the Impaler, which is the guy Dracula is based off of. When Bram Stoker, the original writer of Dracula, looking for somebody to inspire him, he read about Dracula, or Vlad the Impaler. There's rumors about him. He didn't eat meat. He didn't eat his enemies, but he did impale people. And there's this one rumor where he may have nailed the caps onto these guys for not taking them off. That may or may not have happened. There's also another rumor that he impaled animals while he was in prison. That may or may not have happened. Of course, he did get captured and beheaded. And even his own people buried him so that the preacher could walk over his body because he's sinned so much. So no, he did not eat meat, but he is basically the inspiration for Dracula. But he did kill millions of people, or possibly thousands, probably thousands, through impaling. See, werewolves. Let's talk about werewolves. Let me think. The whole legend about werewolves, like, infecting you by biting you is bullshit. Because if a werewolf attacks you, you're pretty much going to be shreds anyway. And the reason vampires turned from boogeymen to a sex symbol, because in the 17th century you couldn't really write about sex, so they just substituted vampires. And the reason they thought vampires exist, and the reason why we bury our dead 6 feet under, because apparently vampires can only go through 5 feet of dirt. Apparently the extra foot prevents them. Why couldn't it just be 5 feet and 1 inch or a centimeter, or just sprinkle some dirt along? Apparently when they dig up bodies and they're decomposing, they look like they get fatter because of gases being released. You get an erection. That's where vampire sex also comes in. There's blood that pumps out your mouth. It's like you've been feeding on people. So that's basically why vampires were thought to be up, and why we bury our dead 6 feet under. A little fun fact for Halloween. Let's see, what else? Ooh, maybe I'll save that for Halloween. Nah, fuck it. Well, anyway, one day, long ass time ago, my friend was at his friend. Well, he was at his house, and he had a friend over. They were playing Silent Hill, the original one for the PlayStation. And it was dark and stormy, or just dark as hell, and they heard a tapping on the window. They go outside and they see this shadowy thing kind of flying around out there. My friend like panics, and stupid enough he opens the door. Then shit starts going crazy. Like the doors start opening and slamming. He starts hearing noises. He goes up the stairs and he sees like this dog-looking thing that like teleports up the stairs. Fucking freaky. And he also, another house he used to live in, he went to the bathroom one night, looked in the mirror, he saw his face. He said he looked like he was dead in the mirror, and his own reflection screamed at him. And he fell to the ground, and he wouldn't go in the bathroom at night again. When he told me that the first time, I got chills on my back. And even his sister, who went in that same bathroom, saw her reflection, looked like she was dead. Her eyes were moving around in the reflection, and it screamed at her. So yeah, there's a few ghost stories. I guess I'm going to end this video off. Seems like it's been going on for a while. Maybe I'll tell more on actual Halloween.